That was the news. We'll move on to first segment. We've got we brought it. We got David, our college football expert. So we're going to talk about some of the rookies who are going to make the biggest fantasy impact in 2020. I will start off. My pick is an obvious one, but it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 32nd overall pick out of LSU to the Chiefs, running back. And I see Damian Williams is there right now, and I don't think he's a good running back. Helaire can easily earn that starting role by week 1 or early on in the season. And historically, the starting running back in Andy Reid's system always has fantasy value, and that offense is so overpowered and dynamic that it's going to be hard to stop anything. So when you have this electric guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, coming out, but you also got Mahomes chucking it deep to Tyreek Hill, it's going to be hard to predict for, and there's going to be a lot of holes for him to run through. And currently he's going pretty late in drafts. It's early on in the fantasy season, so this is obviously going to change. But I think his draft stock could shoot up to somewhere around the 3rd or 4th round by July or August, just purely based on the volume he's going to get and the quality of the touches he'll get because of that offense and Mahomes.
Sure.
Yeah, that offense is so dynamic, and I think that with him there as kind of a elusive back, you could definitely find the hole, get through it. I would compare him kind of near a Le'Veon Bell. It takes his time getting to each hole. I think that the Chiefs definitely really need a running back like that, and he's gonna do amazing in that offense next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I see him doing a great job through the pass game as well, as we saw him play in college. I think he's just an amazing weapon for Patrick Mahomes. The screen play will be great. He knows how to make his cuts. I think he's going to be a very big compliment to the way Andy Reid wants to portray his offense, and I think he's going to do a great job.
So, David, you want to give me your rookie or one of your rookies?
So I've got a couple rookies. I think one of the biggest wide receivers to look out for is going to be Justin Jefferson. We saw him play amazing for LSU throughout the entire season. He was the number 1-2 target. I know we're going to talk about Jamar Chase, but he is obviously not here yet. But he will be probably a top 5 pick. But Justin Jefferson did everything he needed out of the slot. He was open all the time. He's just a great player, and he's going to take a big role with Diggs. I know Thielen and him both play the inside, but I think Thielen can move out to the X or Y, and I think that Jefferson is going to get a lot of playing time and a lot of catches for Diggs being out, and I think he's just going to play a huge role. So what do you guys think about that pick?
I personally love the pick. I think Justin Jefferson is a great player. I think that's what with the loss of Stephon Diggs, that's obviously what they needed. I think Justin Jefferson's going to kind of not really replace him, but definitely have an impact for that team in that offense, give Kirk Cousins more weapons to throw to. So I just overall like the pick.
All right. Berto, you want to give us your rookie to watch out for in fantasy?
Yeah, DeAndre Swift is my rookie. I think that with the Lions drafting him in the 2nd round, I think adds a role to that running game in Detroit. I think that with Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift, I think that they could do wonders there. We could even see DeAndre Swift be the first down back. I really like his elusiveness, and he's a great player overall. Kerryon Johnson now has some injury concerns, so as a good maybe backup running back in the start of the season, but could definitely take over the role as a starting halfback there. So
I would say that I don't really see Swift being the first round back. I think they're going to want to stick with Kerryon Johnson, mainly because Swift wasn't getting that many carries in college. He wasn't a workhorse guy like he would be if he was taking first round snaps. I think they want to split Kerryon Johnson and Swift, like a 60-40 split. Bring out Kerryon Johnson on 1st and 2nd down, use Swift on 3rd down. And I think Swift is going to take away some of the passing opportunities for Kerryon Johnson. So, Swift being on the Lions, Swift could break out, but I think it's going to be more of a hurting Kerryon Johnson than a helping DeAndre Swift kind of thing, because a lot of Kerryon Johnson's value was in the passing game last year before he got hurt. He was popping off with reception touchdowns, reception yards, especially in PPR. So, Swift's going to be a good option late in drafts if you can snag him, but I think the bigger impact is on Kerryon Johnson. He's not going to be as dominant as he could be, which I thought he would be.
Yeah, I can see that.
And there's two shout outs I want to give out for the wide receiver position as well. As we know, it was a huge and very deep class. Amazing players through that position. I want to highlight, though, two other receivers, and I want to highlight Michael Pittman Jr. and Brandon Ayuk. And there's two reasons why I want to highlight these players. I want to hear from you guys' point of view as well after. But Michael Pittman was all Pac-12 player. Big body, 6'4". He's a huge red zone threat, and he adds the Colts perfectly. And I thought they did a very great value pick with him, with only the 34th pick as well. So that was a great value pick. And then Ayuk is perfect for the 49ers. 49ers don't need a receiver that's going to go get hundreds of snaps. But the thing about them is they have so many players coming back, and he's like a amazing deep threat, as well as the last person to have his reach anywhere with his height and his reach was Calvin Johnson. So I'm not trying to predict anything, but I do think he's a freakish athlete. And if you watched him against Oregon, man, Oregon was projected to go into the college football playoffs. They played Arizona State. He had 2 long 65-plus touchdowns, went deep with Jaden Daniels, and I think he's going to be huge for the 49ers offense, and I'd like to hear you guys' take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I think he's going to be a great player for the Niners and stuff, but historically it's been tough for rookie wide receivers, fantasy-wise. So I don't see Brandon Ayuk getting that kind of volume or opportunity that until later in the season, which kind of happened with Deebo Samuel last year. He came on really strong as a rookie, but it was more towards the second half of the season. It took him a little bit to get into it and stuff. So I think Ayuk is someone that maybe you'll be able to snag off free agency in your fantasy season. He'll be a great ad. But I think he also is going to have a problem fighting with Jalen Hurd, because Jalen Hurd was a rookie last year. He got hurt. He had a great preseason until he got hurt. But he'll be coming back, and they kind of play a similar role, big, deep threat. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that battle and who gets those snaps.
For sure. And I think the speed, though, is a very differential thing, though, because Jalen Hurd, I see him more as a flex tight end, because the speed on Ayuk, I think it's a bigger factor than Jalen Hurd. I will like to say, though, Trent Taylor coming back, you're right. I could see Trent Taylor getting more snaps than Ayuk, but in the end, like you said, I think he's going to turn on in the end when they need him, kind of like how Deebo Samuel did. And I think he's a great value pick if you can pick him up in free agency late.
All right.